So just thinking about sort of what we know about historical Jesus and the Jesus movement as a counter-imperial movement, or at least elements of it being sort of counter-imperial movement, like the idea of the cross itself as a symbol of Roman imperial sort of violence, and the kind of painfulness of crucifixion as the kind of reveling in sort of Roman power over its subjects, right? And so this profound perverse reversal that's taken place, that the religion sort of lives in Jesus' name, is now the one reveling and making a fetish out of imperial violence, or out of state violence in this case. And that's where without sort of saying this is true Christianity and this is false Christianity, I think that there are resources within our religious traditions to say enough is enough, to say no to this, to point out the kind of the cognitive sort of disconnect between sort of what has long been sort of championed within these traditions about sort of liberation, about sort of solidarity, versus this brute and brutalizing sort of form of state power that is a perennial human temptation, right? We know that. But at least that was part of the sensibility, and there was an effort to kind of purify and reform the faith. That was part of the Protestant sensibility, or the evangelical sensibility, and a very sort of profound anti-institutionalism at the heart of that, a kind of distrust of power and distrust of human institutions, right? I think what's different now with the Christian nationalist is that they have basically said, like, it's not about, we don't want to go back to the Bible necessarily. We want to go back to Constantine. We want to go back to the days in which sort of Rome itself was converted to Christianity. And Christians began to realize what they could do with the backing of state power, or with the blessing of state power.
Then Jesus was led by the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted by the devil. Again the devil took him to a very high mountain, and showed him all the kingdoms of the world and their splendor. "All this I will give you," he said, "if you will bow down and worship me." Jesus said to him, "Away from me, Satan, for it is written, 'Worship the Lord your God, and serve him only.'"